This is the official AEW Fyter Fest review. I'm going to make this short, try to make it about 15 minutes. So if you listen to this in the first couple seconds, no, this is not going to be too long. It's not going to be one of those hour-long reviews. And I'm obviously sure you see that on YouTube by the time in the video anyway, so it doesn't matter. But just quick thoughts. I just watched Fyter Fest. It ended about 10 minutes ago. The non-sanctioned match, Kenny Omega attacking Jon Moxley after the match as well. So all that's fresh in my mind. The Cody chair shot from Shawn Spears, the incredible Lucha Brothers, Laredo Kid versus Kenny Omega Young Bucks match. All that's very fresh in my mind. So I'll just give my thoughts on Fyter Fest overall. I thought it was a pretty average show, to be honest, because I did not like the buy-in at all. I thought the buy-in was some of the worst wrestling I've seen in months. Looked fake. I didn't enjoy the storylines. The crowd wasn't into it. And it really just sucked. And it made me almost not want to watch Fyter Fest, to be honest. So that was a little disappointing. And then the first couple matches were just very simple, average, nothing much going on in them. Until about the Fatal 4-Way match between MJF, Hangman Page was in it as well. That match kind of started the pay-per-view for me a little bit, and then everything else from then on was pretty good, and what I expect from AEW, but pretty average show, to be honest. I'm not even going to comment on the matches earlier. I'm just kind of going to jump into the main event stuff. You had Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. Great story told in that match with the, they're kind of the whole time they're promoting that Cody really shouldn't be in this match. There's no reason why he should be in this match. So, they're saying that, and then you're like, okay, well, let's see who this. I don't know who, because I don't know who Darby Allin is. I don't follow independent wrestling that much. I'm getting more into it now that we do a podcast, but I really don't know a lot of these guys. I have to learn of them when I watch these big events. So I liked that they were telling a story even during the show about this match. Then you get into the match itself. Darby Allin's working Cody's hand. It's changing up the match. They're hitting their high spots. Cody, you can see visibly is wanting this match to be over. He now realizes he shouldn't have took this match like everyone's saying. Again, good storytelling. I love that stuff. And it's a draw because Cody can't beat the time limit, which I love about AEW. They said they wanted to make it more about sports, and they're making it more like sports. So I enjoyed that. And then obviously at the end, you have Shawn Spears, who's supposed to be his friend, Ty Dillinger, if you don't know, formerly known as Ty Dillinger. He comes in and just unleashes a hellacious chair shot on Cody's just bare forehead, really the side of his head, and busts him open legitimately. You don't see that a lot in wrestling anymore. Just straight unprotected chair shots. It was a little queasy for me. I didn't like seeing that he was cut open for real and that he probably did have a legitimate concussion. I haven't looked up any reports on how he's doing or anything, so hopefully by the time this video is released, it's kayfabe or something like that. It sure didn't look like it, but wishing all the best for Cody Rhodes. But to tell a story, sometimes you got to go a little over the top, and that's what they did right there. And it now sets up probably Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears at All Out, which I'm super excited for because I'll be there live in Chicago or in Hoffman Estates at the Sears Center Arena. So that's going to be super exciting for me to watch. And you got to plant the seed somehow. I even like the fact that Brandy got up on the ropes after that match. And the female referee, I'm forgetting her name. They say her name a couple times, which is another thing I like about AEW. But I like that the female referee got in the way because you don't know where Shawn Spears' head is at in that moment, excuse me. So you don't know. He might crack Brandy Rhodes in the head with a chair. So I really enjoyed that part of it. That whole story and that whole match was good wrestling stuff for me. So I enjoyed that. Then you move on to you have Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, the Elite versus Pentagon Jr., Fenix, and Laredo Kid. And I hadn't seen Laredo Kid ever in my life as well. So it was very, very fun to see that man do his luchador stuff. The match was it was a great match. It was just clunky. You didn't really know what was going on. You didn't know who was legal the whole time. So you obviously there was an essence of realism to it because you really didn't know who was going to win and stuff like that. But it kind of got chaotic, and it's good that Kenny Omega won because they obviously they make the records count in this, so you need the good guys to win. And the guy that's in a match with Jon Moxley and was fighting for a World Heavyweight Championship shot. You need those kind of guys to win. So I'm glad he got the pin over Laredo Kid, who I don't even know if he signed to AEW or not. So makes sense. I am super surprised, though, that now Fenix and Pentagon have lost both matches in AEW. They might not have got pinned in this one, but they've been on the losing side. I think that's pretty surprising considering that most people consider Pentagon and Fenix some of the best wrestlers in the world, and to have them technically be 0-2 or 0-1, whatever you want to call it, is surprising to me. And I thought maybe they should have won that match at Double or Nothing because it made more sense that Kenny was going to win this match. They probably should have had them go over at Double or Nothing. I'm not a booker. I'm not going to sit here and say they made a mistake. All that. No, it's fine. I just think it's kind of surprising if you're going to count records to have Pentagon Jr. and Fenix lose every single match they've been in AEW so far. And I know they won the AAA tag team titles or whatever they did. I know they've won on the outside. I actually watched them at Bar Wrestling win a match this past Thursday. So they're winning on the independent circuit, of course, but that's not the same when you're booking a company. You got to have these good guys win. So I thought that was a little surprising. That more they should have had them win at Double or Nothing rather than had them win tonight. Then Kenny Omega should have won tonight. That made sense. You should have had them win. If you're going to have them lose again, should have had them win at Double or Nothing. By the way, if you see some lights on the side of this, I'm about to watch the main event of the UFC, Francis Ngannou versus Junior Dos Santos in a second. So I'm going to get, whenever that match is going to start, you're going to know because I'm going to stop the video. So sorry if you see lights and stuff. I'm just watching this. I just have the sound off. So moving on to the main event, very, very good match for what it was supposed to be, a non-sanctioned match. Brutal high spots where you have barbed wire being involved. These guys are getting cut for real. It was just so real that you almost didn't want them to hit wrestling moves because it seemed fake, right? Like I remember specifically, you have Joey Janella hit. Sorry if I say Dean Ambrose. That's apologies. I'm just so used to saying his name, Jon Moxley. If you have Joey Janela hit Jon Moxley with that barbed wire base chair, and all of a sudden he's bleeding on his back, and then you have a super kick that is not really. So that kind of stuff was. They made it so real how brutal their bodies were being tortured in this match that you almost wanted there to be no wrestling and let's just keep hitting each other with weapons. Let's go through tables, all that stuff. All the high spots worked. I've never seen someone do the thing with Joey Janela with his feet, his bare feet into thumbtacks. That's amazing. Great call. Whoever came up with that idea. And then even Moxley finishing the match, inserting about 25 thumbtacks in his back, just showing that these guys will do anything to win. And also, it really shows you what Jon Moxley could have been doing in WWE. It disappoints me that WWE wasn't able to show even some of this side with Dean Ambrose. They obviously had the lunatic fringe gimmick and all that BS, but if he's not doing stuff like this, like he just did tonight, you were wasting his talent. And now I know why he was so frustrated, because this is him. And this is what he used to do. I was surprised that they went so far because Jon Moxley hasn't done this kind of stuff in a really, really long time. So you don't know how he's going to take it. But they're the main event, and you got to go for it. And they did. And credit to Janela for taking all the spots. Credit to Moxley taking all the spots. I love the match. And then you have Kenny Omega getting his revenge, kind of turning heel a little bit. Not really, because he's just avenging what Moxley did to him unjustly at Double or Nothing. He comes in, beats him up even more, and Moxley's smiling and laughing and really enjoying what's happening to him and showing people he really is insane. All I could think about was how Renee Young was thinking at home watching this, and she obviously has not known that Jon Moxley before. To get a little insight, I don't want to talk about their relationship or anything like that, but yeah, real good stuff. At the end, in the beginning, terrible. Some of the worst wrestling I've seen, and just kind of boring. And just another criticism I wanted to take was the overall production value of it. Again, the announcers disappointed me. Even Jim Ross was a little off on this event. He wasn't as into it as he was with Double or Nothing. Excalibur made a lot of mistakes. Whoever the other announcer was, he just kind of seemed boring. So they really need to shore that up. Obviously, you're going to have Jim Ross lead the thing, but the announcing just kind of sucks in AEW. WWE is just better. I don't know whether it's just, at least in my opinion, WWE announcing is better, even though it's obviously fake and it's all that stuff and they're playing characters. They're still making you care about the match a lot. Where what I see with these announcers is it's just clunky and you almost want them to shut up and just listen to the crowd or something, right? And then I didn't like that you couldn't hear the entrance music very well, and you couldn't hear the chair shots, and you couldn't really hear the punches and the slaps as good. It almost felt like you were watching from far away, like you were there live, but you were in the upper deck and you couldn't hear anything. That was a little disappointing to me. I think production value wise, I know it's BR Live, I know it's an app or whatever the hell that is, but is that's what I watched it on. I'm here in the United States, so I got to watch it on BR Live for free. If you had to pay for it, I'm sorry, because I don't really think this show is worth paying for. I think this is a glorified like Monday Night Raw type show with great main events, but like the overall show, I would give it like a C+, C+, B-, something like that. But so I just, you couldn't really hear the music. You couldn't get into it. Some of these guys have great theme songs too. I like MJF's music. I like Cody Rhodes' music. I like Moxley's music, and you couldn't really hear it. You couldn't get into it. Maybe it's because I don't have surround sound. I don't know. But those were just little criticisms to take, or those are little criticisms to, sorry, this fight's about to start, so I got to finish this thing in the next like 2 or 3 minutes. Those are little criticisms. The major criticisms are just the overall booking at the beginning of the show, the fake BS stuff with Nakazawa and whoever that Jay Bailey guy is. A lot of the video game stuff doesn't resonate with a lot of wrestling fans. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm not a big video game guy. I could honestly give a shit less about all that stuff they're talking about. And there's just all these weird like references to stuff that I guess I should know, but I don't, because I didn't watch them in New Japan. So I think when they get to TV in October, I really think they need to think about like toning down the I'm trying to find the word for it. I don't know, the stuff that they did in the past, a lot of people don't know about. So you need to tone that down a little bit and kind of focus on the present and not the past. Because when you have WWE and The Rock comes back or The Undertaker comes back, a lot of people just know what that is. I don't know what the Elite is. Like, I don't know what those guys came out in and their music and all that weird stuff. And Kenny Omega with his red hair. I don't understand that. So I need them to tone that down a little bit, because as a casual fan of AEW wrestlers, I don't understand it. And then it makes the matches, I can't enjoy the matches because I don't know what's going on a lot. I feel left out, like I'm a third wheel or something in this match. So I don't like that. I didn't like the production, and I didn't like the stuff they did at the beginning. Really, the first 5 matches I really did not enjoy. I did like how they booked Nyla Rose. They made her look really, really good. So I did enjoy that. As far as the beginning stuff. And I did enjoy MJF again, just blasts the crowd, does exactly what a heel's supposed to do. So I did enjoy that as far as the stuff on the beginning. And I liked everything at the end. I liked the last 3 matches were great, all the stuff in between. And I hope Cody Rhodes is okay. So this UFC fight is about to start. It's Junior Dos Santos versus Francis Ngannou. So I got to get off of here. I hope you enjoyed this. Short and sweet. Tried to make it less than 15 minutes. And so listen to this whole thing. I'm going to post this in a second. So if you're watching right now, I'm going to give this thing about a C+, B-. Didn't like the beginning of the show. Really enjoyed the end. And I'm excited about Fight for Fall. I think that will be a better show overall because it means more to the wrestlers. So this is Nick Nenad from the Ring Journal signing out. This was the AEW Fyter Fest official review. Oh, and one more thing. Of course, raise a glass in the sky.